first large ship being reported in the media. And they told me not to film that until that was a true statement.
So under this video, there is many comments like this one, and I wanted to talk about this because a lot of videos like this are about things that we all can do, and I know that the people who are frustrated underneath there, they can feel the thing, and they ask this kind of question because if we don't understand that we all can do this, but we all do it differently. And also, I'm going to talk in detail about it, but also the other problem is dates. Because dates, I'm not going to talk about dates unless someone wants to, and you absolutely can ask in the comments, and I will be happy to talk about it. But giving dates and asking for dates is, just to keep it simple, it doesn't make sense because everything that happens outside of ourselves happens as accumulation of what we do and everyone else and what we pay attention to and blah 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 and all that stuff. So what you see outside is an accumulation of us and others that are not here right now, right? Everything that people have done in, our space externally. So to see what's happening in the future there doesn't make any sense because what we see always is what we end up doing together, right? So both of those things is why people are frustrated in the comments. People saying, I hope this happens. Why is this not happening? This is why this happens. Okay, now we're going to address this amazing comment. I answered there, but I just thought that a lot of people might need to know this. But yeah, and also maybe even the person who makes these videos, but I don't know if she knows I'm doing this, but it doesn't matter because she's popular or whatever. But anyway, so when people say this, I get this asked so many times in sessions. I get this asked all the time on lives, and it's always people say, what is the difference between my imagination and beings? And the problem with this is because of how people look at things. Not only do they do a hierarchy that we talked about earlier in other videos, where they say that only this person does this, or even if people don't mean it, they give themselves a title, it makes it sound like only those people can do it. So then you go, okay, so if this person can only do it, what are they doing and what are they recognizing compared to their imagination or not? And so even if this person has an answer to that, which this person didn't because it's not true, right? I think they know that too. This is the problem. So every single thing that you think about, you are channeling. It doesn't matter if you don't know you're channeling. Now, those people that close their eyes and do channeling, or there's people that write things down and share it, those are people who are consciously asking things, whether they know they're doing it or not. They're just actually asking stuff. And no one does this because they think it's crazy and no one thinks of it. But this is what I do, and every single person that says they're a channeler, this is what we do. We ask questions. Now, when you're asking those questions, people's next question would be, who's answering? Who's answering is actually your energy. So parts of you. You have a representation. But you're doing that all the time. The difference between you asking and someone answering, that's the difference, is that you're asking. And so the reason why I say it's silly is because you actually will know, because if you're asking, you do know, you are asking, and you know who you're asking, right? So if you ask someone, you are an energy or whatever to talk to them, you are talking to them. But if you're just randomly living your life and you're wondering, you're like, I wonder how to bake a cake. Like, how am I going to do this? And then you get inspiration and things like that. That's passive. That's a passive way of channeling information. That's, if you were wondering that is basically the human collective. So you're channeling from the human collective. Oh, okay, so I need to go look up some recipes. Oh, okay, actually Google has that option now. I don't have to get a book. Those kind of thoughts. What we do with them is us, the human. What we do with them. We're the alchemizers. Humans are alchemizers. So we choose to express or change our insides and our thinking and our whatever. So if you get inspiration all of a sudden, that's coming from either your energy that you already have that's coming to make you alive, or it's coming from the earth energy, or it's coming from nature. It's coming from all different places because humans stream and channel all the time. But the way you'll know is when you're being proactive and asking questions. So now you don't have to ask those questions if that feels weird to you. Just pay attention to what you do all day. When you get inspiration, when you do those things, start small. But this is what everybody's doing. There's no mystery. So the thing is, though, is if you don't explore deeply, it's, we're in layers of the way that we see things. If you don't explore deeply within yourself, even those energies you're talking to, you're not going to understand that completely. So in this case, for example, when the people channel this information and they're giving dates, that is a representation of someone who has not gone enough within to ask how the universe or this dimension even works. I've asked about this, so I know I would never ask dates. I found that I have videos about this if people are interested, and if you can't find them, just look down there. There's a bunch of them, and they all look the same. It was a live that I split up, and in that live I talked about it. It's impossible. They can't give you dates. And even if it gets right at one point, it's because you're basically, so let's say you're talking to these energies, which they're kind of like coders, right? And the Galactic Federation is basically who lets in which different energies to do the coding on Earth for energies that are not made from Earth. So the energies that are made from Earth are nature. So there's these energies that are kind of, people would think are aliens and like look like bugs and all kinds of stuff. Those are actually of Earth, and those are the ones that are the representations. So when they're doing that, if you understand things a certain way and you're talking to them, they're going to talk back to you in your language. But if you go deeper and you find new references, they're going to talk to you deeper. It's just like when you're learning a new language. You're not going to be able to have a deep conversation with someone until you understand those deep words and phrases and the culture. You're going to only know the basics. So for example, let's say you're learning French. You're going to only know how to maybe order food or say hello to someone. But you're not going to be able to have a deep philosophical question because you don't have the language. It doesn't mean you can't talk to them and you can't try your best. It just means that you won't be able to have that level and deepness because you yourself don't understand it deeper. Does that make sense? So if anyone has any questions about this is my specialty and I would love to help you more. But all the people, I hope that because I've stitched this, I don't want that creator to feel sad or anything like that. I stitched this so that if people do see that video, they can appreciate that she's doing this and that they can do it as well. Because we're all puzzle pieces. And like I said, mean no offense to this lady. My energy said that it to attach it so that people can put their own puzzle pieces together. But basically what she's providing is what she gets from her energies. You're also not only getting what she's getting, from those energies, but you're getting what her knowledge is and who she is. So for example, she is showing you that it's possible, that everyone can do that. And you can listen to it and get all excited and it's like a back and forth. What should be happening is instead of people going, oh, okay, let me wait for this news. You should be talking to her and be like, oh yeah, that's so cool. I got this too. And isn't that interesting? And I remember when I grew up, I thought of blah, blah, blah. And that's how we should be talking to each other. There shouldn't be this hierarchy and gatekeeping because what this creator has to provide is not special anymore because we're just thinking of her as a normal news station, which doesn't make sense. She's more special than that. Everyone is more special, and the people watching it are special. So anyway, that's why I wanted to make sure to say this. I mean no offense or anything to her if she's watching this, but like I said, she's popular, so who knows if she's even seen the other one I did too. But anyway, that's for everybody, including her. So I feel like this is what I feel. This is why I speak up, is my speciality is to make sure that everyone is shining and working together. And that is basically because everyone has something special to provide. And if we keep doing these hierarchy things that are stupid, we don't get to do our own beautiful things that come from us. And I will keep going with this because it's so important to me.